In this video, we are disclosing the relationship between man and his tool, which are coming past thousands of years and evolving time by time through a story. Because a tool is not small, it carries the weight of a man's dreams. Every human is spending life with some special tool which has much significance in his life. Today we have story in which a boy who is living in a small town where dust floated gently with the evening wind lived a man named Ayan. The town was quiet, modest, and predictable, but for Ayan every day carried the same dream. Baseball, not the kind played under bright stadium lights or broadcast on television. This was the kind played on a worn-out ground at the edge of town, where grass struggled to grow and chalk lines faded faster than hopes. Every afternoon, when the sun softened and shadows stretched long, Ayan walked to that ground. He never stepped inside the boundary. He stood outside the rusted fence, hands gripping the metal wires, eyes fixed on the game. He watched the bat swing, the ball fly, the players cheer. His heart moved with every hit, every miss. He knew the rules, he knew the timing, he knew the rhythm, but he didn't have a bat. Ayan loved baseball more than anything, but love doesn't buy equipment. His family lived simply. Every coin had a purpose: food, rent, survival. A standard baseball bat was a luxury, far beyond reach. Still, every day he came. People on the field noticed him, the quiet boy outside the fence. Some ignored him, some smiled, some laughed. But Ayan didn't care. He was learning, watching, dreaming. At night, when the house was quiet, Ayan practiced swings with an imaginary bat, the air cutting softly as he followed through. His mother watched silently from the doorway. His father noticed too. His father, Rashid, was a man shaped by hard work. His hands were rough, his back bent slightly from years of labor. He didn't say much, but he saw everything. One evening, Ayan finally spoke. "Abba," he said softly, "can I have a baseball bat?" The question hung heavy in the room. Rashid looked at his son. He knew the answer. He also knew the disappointment that would follow. "I don't have enough money," he said quietly. Ayan nodded. He didn't cry. He didn't argue. He simply went to his room. That night, Rashid couldn't sleep. He thought about his son standing outside the fence, about the way his eyes followed the ball, about the way he practiced swings in the air. Rashid knew what it meant to want something deeply and not have it. Before sunrise, he made a decision. Behind their house was an old wooden shed. Inside it were tools Rashid had collected over years, simple, worn, but reliable. He chose a solid piece of wood, heavy and strong. With careful hands, he began to shape it. He cut, he carved, he sanded. There were no measurements, no professional design, only instinct, love, and patience. The bat wasn't perfect. It was slightly uneven, the handle thicker than normal, the weight different. But it was real. By the time the sun rose, Rashid placed the bat beside Ayan's bed. "For you," he said. Ayan stared at it in disbelief. It wasn't like the bats he'd seen, but it was his, made by his father's hands. That day, Ayan walked onto the ground for the first time. Silence followed, then laughter. "What is that?" one boy said. "Did you bring a stick from a tree?" Another laughed. Ayan felt the heat rise in his face. His hands tightened around the bat. He looked at the fence where he once stood, watching. He remembered his father's tired hands. "I'll play," he said. The first few days were hard. He missed the ball. Again and again, the bat felt strange, heavy, unbalanced. The laughter continued. Some teammates doubted him. Others ignored him. But Ayan didn't quit. Every evening after the ground emptied, he stayed. He practiced alone, swing after swing. His palms blistered, his arms ached. But slowly, something changed. The bat became familiar. Its weight made his wrists stronger. Its shape forced precision. His grip improved. His timing sharpened. What once felt like a weakness became his advantage. Weeks passed. Then one day, it happened. The ball met the bat with a sharp crack. It soared farther than anyone expected. The ground fell silent. Again, another hit, stronger, cleaner. The laughter stopped. Ian's bat, his father's bat, was different, and so was his play. Soon people stopped mocking. They started watching. Kids whispered. Players asked to try the bat. Some couldn't handle it. Some failed. Only Ian could use it perfectly. The bat became famous in the area, not because it was expensive, not because it was branded, but because it was earned. People asked where he bought it. Ian smiled and said nothing. At home, Rashid watched his son return each evening, dusty, tired, and happy. He never asked for credit. He didn't need it, because this wasn't just a bat. It was a tool shaped by sacrifice, by love, by belief. And in that small town, people learned something important. It's not the tool that makes the man. It's the man and the hands that made the tool. Years pass, hands change, but the bond remains. Subscribe to follow the journey of a man and his tool.